In this problem, we want to solve the equation. We got square root of 5x plus 6 is equal to 2x minus 6. So let's refresh our memory on how to solve a radical equation. So solving radical equations. Step 1. Get a radical by itself. Do not create a fraction. Step 2. Raise both sides to a power equal to the index. Step 3. If more radicals, go back to step 1. Step 4. Solve for x. And it'll either be linear or quadratic at that point. I really have not ever seen any problems that weren't one of those two. And step 5, check your answer. Okay, so let's take a look at this problem here. So I got square root of 5x plus 6 equals 2x minus 6. Step 1, get a radical by itself. Well, we got a radical by itself on this side. There's nothing in front of it, nothing after it. We just got square root of 5x plus 6. Step 2, raise both sides to a power equal to the index. Well, this is a square root, so the index, the number in the slot, is by default 2. So we're going to square both sides. So square 5x plus 6, or the square of the square root of 5x plus 6, and we'll square the 2x minus 6. Well, when the index matches the power, they cancel each other away. So that gives us 5x plus 6. 2x minus 6 squared is 2x minus 6 times 2x minus 6. 2x times 2x is 4x squared. 2x times negative 6 is negative 12x. Negative 6 times 2x is negative 12x. Negative 6 times negative 6 is positive 36. So we got 5x plus 6 is equal to 4x squared. Negative 12x is negative 24x plus 36. Step 3. If more radicals, go back to step number 1. We don't have any more radicals. So we go on to step 4. Step 4 says solve for x. Well, this particular problem is a linear or a quadratic because it's got an x squared. So I want to get 0 on one side and get everything else over on the other. So I'll take 6 over, and I'll take the 5x over. Because we're going to end up using the zero factor property. When you take anything across equals, again the sign changes. The 5x becomes a negative 5x. The positive 6 becomes a negative 6. Combining the like terms, negative 24x minus 5x is negative 29x. 36 minus 6 is 30. Now if this will factor, it's kind of strange looking, but if it'll factor, it'll won't be that method. It'll be key number. Because we have x squared x, no x, and there's a number in front of the x squared. With the key number, we take the number at the beginning times the number at the end, ignoring signs. So I got 4 times 30. Number at the beginning, number before the x squared, and number at the end, constant term. That'll give us 120. We'll come up with 3 columns. P column, we write down all products, give us 120. There's 1 times 120, 2 times 60, 3 times 40, 4 times 30, 5 times 24, 6 times 20, 7, no, 8 times 15, 9, no, 10 times 12. The S column, we add these together. 1 plus 120 is 121. 2 plus 60 is 62. 43, 34, 29, 26, 23, 22. Difference column. We subtract smaller from larger. 120 minus 1 is 119. 60 minus 2 is 58. 40 minus 3 is 37. 26, 19, 14, 7, and 2. Number we're looking for is number in our middle term, which is 29, which looks like right here. My writing's kind of bad. So we're going to use 5 and 24. Now remember the key number, we rewrite our middle term using those two numbers. The larger of the two numbers we're using out of the P column, we're using 5 and 24. So larger of those is a 24. Will always be the same sign as the middle term, which in this problem is negative. So we got a negative 24x. Number I circled in the S column, S for same signs. Since 24 is negative, then the 5 will have to be negative. Then we'll factor by grouping. First group has a 4 and an x in common, and that gives us x minus 6. Second group has a negative 5 in common, and that gives us x minus 6. Remember, our goal is to get this parentheses the same as this parentheses, which they are. So I'll factor out and x minus 6, and that gives us 4x minus 5. Well, now we're ready to use the zero factor property. Zero factor property says you get 0 on one side, you factor the other side, you set each factor equal to 0. So I'll set x minus 6 equal to 0 and 4x minus 5 equal to 0. That gives us x equals 6. This one I'll take the negative 5 over, it becomes a positive 5, and divide both sides by 4. And we get x equals 6, and x is equal to 5/4. But we can't forget step 5. Step 5 says check your answers. Let me put 6 back in. 5 times 6 is 30, plus 6 is 36. Square root of 36 is 6, so this side is 6. If I put 6 over here, 2 times 6 is 12, minus 6 is 6, I get 6 equals 6. So that checks. 5/4. I might have to write this one out. I can't see this one. Okay, so I'll put 5/4 back in. I got 5 times 5/4 plus 6. And we're wondering if that's equal to 2 times 5/4 minus 6. This gives us 25 over 4 plus 6. And we're wondering if that's equal to 2 and a 4. That gives me 5/2 minus 6. This is a mixed number form. 6 times 4 is 24, plus 25 is 49 over 4. This is also a mixed number form. Negative 6 times 2 is negative 12, plus 5. Negative 12 plus 5 is negative 7/2. And 7 times 7 gives you 49. 2 times 2 gives you 4, so that gives us 7/2. And 7/2 does not equal to negative 7/2. So that one does not check. So our only answer is the x equals 6.